And the Weekly Web Up is back. What's up, guys? All right, before we get into this, happy birthday to Jake.
It's my birthday.
You weren't actually supposed to be here.
I'm not even supposed to be here today.
You sound like an asshole.
You're not allowed to rent here anymore.
Yeah.
Well, we plan on it being me and Josh, but it goes into our first story and one of our main stories. They're probably going to talk a big
So little
chunk of
did
this
you
podcast.
guys know that I myself worked out a deal with Kevin Feige. He said, "Hey, for my 29th birthday, it's the end of my 20s. I will give you my firstborn. Okay, in 20 years, you can have him. He'll be Captain America in your new movies as long as you drop this trailer on my birthday." Feige and I are pretty tight guys, so he's like, "Yeah, cool. All right, you know what? Done."
Call him
Jake.
Kayfig, right?
Oh, dude.
Kayfig.
Yeah, because you're friends with him.
No, it's Feige, but yeah.
You just call him Feige? You don't
I call him Kev. He's
Call him
just
Kev?
Yeah.
That's what we call him.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of that,
you guys are welcome, by the way. All right.
well, of course,
How selfless
we had.
of you.
Of course, we had to drop.
Yeah, come
we
on.
had the drop of Avengers Endgame.
Endgame. I called that, by the way. I've been calling it for a while.
No, you didn't.
Oh,
The Sorcerer
bullshit.
Supreme.
Okay, wait a minute.
When he's
Let's
seen
be
it
honest.
4
I'm
million
just
Let's be
saying,
honest. Let's be
that
honest.
was the one I said, I think this is the most likely.
A
Okay,
lot
let's be
of
honest.
people.
A lot of people
called that.
Well, my
called
girlfriend
that.
gave me a lot of credit for it. So.
It's your birthday. She's going to give you credit for everything you do.
All right, well, let's get into Avengers Endgame. The trailer finally dropped. Okay.
What was that?
It's just a sigh of relief. It's
Let's
finally
just
here.
go through this.
Yeah.
bitch.
Yeah, I know.
So-
Don't sit here and, like, ejaculate in your pants over this.
Well, that was
Come on,
exactly
we already did that.
And a sigh of sadness because just a tearjerker right at the beginning of this trailer.
It is, yeah.
We catch
Absolutely.
up with it is post snap. Everybody's
Decimation. That is the
decimation.
preferred nomenclature.
I just told him that. I told him that right before this.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah. So we catch up with Tony, and it looks like he's on the
Dying.
Milano.
It's on the line.
But I thought the Milano got destroyed in Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Did he get a new ship?
No, I mean,
Yes,
remember in Infinity
yes,
War?
yes.
What's the thing that Thor hits the windshield of? Wipers!
Wipers,
Wipers,
yeah.
Did they call it Milano though?
Yeah.
Is this brand new ship? Okay,
Star-Lord
whatever.
ship, at
Anyways,
least. Yeah.
he's in the Milano. He's by himself. The first thing I asked was, "Where's Nebula?" But we pretty much assumed that she's on the ship with him.
Yeah,
But
I mean, it's pretty obvious when
looks
she's
like-
standing there. She's on the Milano.
Yeah.
Yeah, and one of the
Well,
strong.
you are breezing right over some of the dialogue.
I know.
Tony.
I'm getting to that, and
Okay,
like one
alright.
of the tearjerkers in there, he's like talking to Pepper, obviously, and then it says Miss Potts. You know, a little classic throwback to Iron Man 1.
Right.
And also, he says a really strong quote in there talking about like part of the journey is the end.
Dude, talk about a great philosophical line. Something you don't expect to be in something like a comic movie, but yeah, part of the journey is the end of the journey. Yeah, that is. You're right. We're all moving towards that. But the thing that's crazy is not crazy, but it's interesting to see because Tony's been suffering from like PTSD. He went through the wormhole, all this shit, right? I mean, you guys remember that, right? Yeah. Age of Ultron, no. But no,
I heard
so
it a couple times.
Yeah, no, I haven't. First I'm hearing about it. But it's weird to see Tony almost at peace with the idea that yeah, I'm gonna die. This is the end for me. I'm not making it out of this alive. I just want to make sure the woman I love, the one person I really care that much about, gets some kind of message if my body's found or whatever. But he seems almost at peace with the idea. He's done.
Well, wouldn't you say like on top of peace? Yeah, you can have some peace there, but also like just it also amounts to the being just defeated. Like he's like sitting there, he's like, "This is the end game that I've foreseen for so many years, and it's finally here. Is this the end game that I was waiting for the whole time?"
Well, he survived what he thought would be the worst of it, right? I mean, he went toe to toe with Thanos. The way Whiplash says, "If you can make a god bleed, people cease to believe in him." Want all that for one drop of blood? I mean, he did it.
Yeah.
You know, he faced his fears, and yeah, he seems to be at peace with dying. But that is just a weird thing to see Tony. I mean, I don't think any character has had the journey that Tony has throughout the Marvel Universe. I mean, I know I'm a little biased, but I think it's true. You see where he starts off in Iron Man 1 and where he's at now in Avengers Endgame. Completely different character. You know, he's gone through so much.
Yeah. Oh, and Josh, what do you think about this? Like, you see this opening sequence, post snap of Thanos picking up with Tony.
Like what do I think about the beginning?
Yes.
Like with the Tony scene?
Yeah.
He's dying. he's like, happy birthday, Jake. Your favorite character's dead.
You don't say that.
You don't say that.
Hey, what's wrong with you?
The other thing I do want to note, though,
No.
is that we get like a physical helmet to the Mark 50. Something that, it looked
Yeah.
very CGI and stuff in the movie, right? I mean, there's no denying it didn't look that convincing, and I'm cool with it. I can pass by, but like there's a physical version
Yeah.
of his helmet. So I'm going, is the nanotech, I mean, what's going on with the nanotech? Is it able to harden and crystallize over, not on Tony's body anymore? What's going on with the piece on his chest?
Yeah.
Is it running out of battery or energy? I mean, if it's an arc reactor, probably not, but how is that working? He says food and water ran out, 4 days ago, 2 days
Yeah,
ago, something
yeah.
like that. Oxygen's going to run out. Nebula doesn't need that stuff to function, I don't think, so she's basically going to be left there with a dead Tony Stark body.
Yeah.
I don't know, but...
Yeah, that's what I said too. It's just like
She's gonna be left there with a dead Tony Stark body and slowly start eating his face.
Or she'll just, eat his helmet. I just need the
I just need the
nanites.
nanites.
But, dude, what a hell of a way to start this trailer. And I will say, this trailer... It was not what anybody expected. I don't think anybody expected this kind of dour, just sad, really minimalist trailer. It gives you nothing, and I love that. I love the fact they did not reveal anything for this movie.
Even you take off, it's like I kind of got that feeling as soon as this trailer, your post-traumatic stress of Avengers Infinity War, everybody got depression kicks in,
Dude.
and at the beginning of the show, I'm like, I'm so excited, Avengers. Oh yeah,
They
everybody's
didn't
dead.
even play the classic Avengers theme song,
No.
did they?
No.
Yeah. It was
And-
just straight, just dialogue.
Yeah, and then it goes to a pitch of silence, and then boom, it just it kicks in, and then we get a shot of the Scarecrow Thanos armor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
which
thought
I was
that was
pretty
pretty
pumped about that.
Great
This
nod.
looked-
Great
Yeah.
nod. And we see...
Granted, we see that in Infinity War.
We do, but we get a much better look at it here, and we
Yeah.
get a really quick shot of Thanos walking through, some space flowers, and the gauntlet is
Tarnished,
visibly,
Yeah.
fucked
And then
up.
he's still wearing it, which is it makes you kind of sick.
I
Sick,
feel like
sadistic
maybe he's
fuck.
paranoid that something would happen to it if he was not on constant watch.
Yeah, well,
Maybe, or he's a sick, sadistic fuck that likes to keep treasures from the people that he raped and
Jesus.
killed.
Anyway, so also too, the Russo brothers, a lot of people they kept it kind of secret, which makes me it's kind of weird. But obviously Thanos got a axe in his chest, and they never said how much time has passed when we seen Thanos
That's
at
one
that
thing
farm.
I wanted to ask too. Yeah.
Yeah. So I wonder if that Infinity Gauntlet too, he's just been recovering that whole time.
Well,
And
I
it's
think
fine.
what happened when he snapped himself out, he used the time stone to reverse that wound, which is why the axe, falls
Oh
out of
yeah,
his chest.
I mean, the
'Cause
guy
when
is
next time we
rocking
see
all
him-
is rocking all the stones. I mean,
Right.
the
But wouldn't the blood
possibilities
not
of
be on it?
What?
If you reverse the time, wouldn't the blood not be on it though?
I think you just reversed the wound.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean,
know.
with the time stone, the one thing that we know about the time stone is when, in Doctor Strange, he can pick one selected item that's around them that he can make it go through time.
Right.
It's like that apple. If you remember, he made it rot and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
come
yeah,
back
yeah.
full
Yep.
and all that stuff. So, I mean, he could literally just do that to his chest. But the thing is, though, is he has all these stones. So the possibilities of what he can do is, it's endless. He has a reality stone. He has all these different
Yeah.
stones. I mean,
Yeah.
for him to have a chest wound heal, he should have went for the head. Exactly. Because with the head, if he can't think, then he can't use the
Right.
he can't use the stone.
The question is, though, is the gauntlet still usable? I mean, apparently it is to some extent because he snaps and he's able to snap his ass out of there. But
Yeah.
is that gauntlet still as powerful? Can it still do it, or is that snap just limit its abilities? Hey, you got 3 more abilities. 3 more times to use this thing. You better get a new gauntlet or what? But I'm curious as to the state of the gauntlet. Is it still functional?
What
fully
it calls for
functional?
the stones and
Yeah.
the how much he can use of them.
Yeah, well, it's I don't know. You overheated the bad boy. And
Yeah, pretty
just
much.
Basically, you can still use the function, but shit's gonna be rough. Maybe that's what it is.
It's like any machine is a smoke machine if you use it wrongly enough.
But and then we catch up with the rest of the Avengers in a post of
I don't know about the rest, but
Yeah, what's left of the Avengers?
A few.
Yeah,
two to
left of
three,
the Avengers.
four.
I mean, kind of at a mourning stage, and
See Cap crying.
Cap crying.
Dude, that tear down his face gets me, man. It
does
really does.
too.
See Cap
When you see
just
Cap cry,
crying.
that makes the whole
because
world
I don't
cry.
even think he really shed a tear. I think he did during Peggy's funeral, but it was when he's carrying the casket. But the rest of the time, you don't
Yeah.
really see him. To see Cap shed a tear, dude,
Well, even in that might be just a lighting issue, but you really don't see that tear. But whoever did that camera shot, it actually looks like, god damn, he's tore up in that shot.
yeah,
So-
man.
And that
he
makes
says
me
we lost
wonder.
friends, family.
And that makes me wonder. Yeah, he could be crying about Bucky, and Anthony Mackie's going on. Fuck, what is Falcon's real name?
Sam Wilson.
Sam Wilson. There we go. Sam. All those guys could be the tier for that, or Peggy Carter's granddaughter should possibly be gone.
Right. I think it's an overwhelming, just so much life was lost.
There's a tons. And I mean, and he tried his hardest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, dude literally took a straight, just jack to the jaw potatoes, I mean.
Tried, man. It's not even just, like, the sense that you, like, lost people, but it's like,
it's because
you failed.
Of you. Yeah.
You failed, and you're wearing, and, like, you hold all that burden on your fucking shoulders.
Because he feels partially responsible.
He was front line, and he was right there, and, like, it's just, like that's the one thing, like, it's going through all these guys' heads, like, Tony and Thor and Cap, like that has to be one thing that's going through their heads. It's not just the fact that all these people are lost, but they were right there.
Right.
They were there to try to stop it, and they watched it happen, and they couldn't do anything about it.
It's indicative of their own failure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they've never failed, especially on that scale.
Oh, yeah, and then when they fail on that scale, like, 50% of the world.
Yeah,
like
holy trillions of beings.
Yeah, we'll keep that quote in mind because I want to come back to that. But being on the subject of Captain America in this trailer, when he says we lost, but he says it in a kind of a tone like we lost, suck it up, we took it on the chin.
Yeah,
well, it's
now
get killed.
Get
back in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. What does he say? Dust it off. And
get back on and keep fighting. Like, I mean, that's Cap. That's the soldier.
Or walk it off. He says
walk it off. Yeah, that's the soldier of him. Like, he's gonna be like, yeah, okay, cry, but then you get your ass back up and you start going.
The optimist in him too. It's like, this has to work. I don't know what I'll do if it doesn't.
Yeah.
So it's just like the eternal optimism.
You're going too far ahead.
So, we
already jumped ahead to a piece I already.
I like to talk about the Captain America chunks in this trailer. Him in general. And
I also want to talk really quickly about on the screens flashing people who passed. Shuri, we have it confirmed. Shuri was dusted.
We don't know that for a fact. Because Scott Lang's on there, and Scott Lang did not get dusted.
Okay, so anyway, before we get there, Shuri, I think they've probably done a census already, like who's still left, because Widow comes out and says 50% of the world's population is gone. I'm pretty sure in Wakanda they would have known whether or not Shuri was still roaming around.
But I feel like that would be a character, if you showed all these other people getting dusted, that would be a character that you would show get dusted.
I mean, there's a lot of people, dude. I mean, there's a lot to. I don't need a Return of the Kings type.
Runtime. Runtime.
I mean, sure, you got they can confirm it in this next movie. I'm fine. I'm just saying that was one we didn't know. Looks like it's now confirmed. The other two they showed was
Tom Holland,
Spider-Man, and who else?
Scott Lang.
Okay.
Who didn't get dusted.
Well, again, we will get to that. We will get to that.
But yeah, and then we go to. We didn't see him at all in Avengers: Infinity War. We actually get our first look at Ronan.
Yes, dude. That got
and even as you pointed out to the gauntlets, and then also his boots and stuff like that. You can see
you can see a little bit like a really dull gold outline on him, like he's wearing the Ronan. I want to see the mask though. Yeah, I really want to see what that mask looks like.
Yeah, he whipped it off, and then but me and Josh, and you can speculate, and this is why we break down these trailers and theorize about all this stuff. So. He wipes the blade as if there is blood on it, but there is no blood.
It's a trailer. You probably got to remove it.
Exactly. And just like we talked in Avengers Infinity War, where Thor shot lightning in the air, he's probably holding Stormbreaker in that scene, and they kind of find out he was.
CGI that out. They've done that quite a bit. They've CGI'd out a lot of stuff out of trailers. And I'm guessing to keep it palatable for a wide audience, you can't show blood, or else you got to put the red band or something on it.
Well,
I don't know how far you can go.
Well, we even thought of that too, and I thought it was kind of weird that didn't show any blood at all. Like, granted, a little bit of speck of red or something like that. Don't go too crazy. Like you said, it is a Disney property. But
can we stop this Disney shit? It's just a Marvel film. I'm so sick I'm so sick of perpetuating this idea. It's a Disney movie. Yeah, okay, it's Disney owned, but Marvel, let's do their own devices. Can we just stop calling everything Disney?
So they Disney ended up
I'm just so irritated with it.
Jake, take a step off your soapbox. It's okay.
I'm just irritated with it.
But we were sitting there thinking, what'd you say, the Kree?
I was saying, what if it was actually they don't want to show you the blood because it's a different color. So there's a chance that maybe because the one thing that we were talking about when we were doing the that synopsis and we were reading that synopsis of the trailer.
Yeah.
We were talking about
he was in Japan with the Yakuza.
And then you were talking about the Yakuza and him, and then talking about him with the sword and all this stuff. And we were talking about that seems a little random and a little gruesome, if you have him killing killing mob bosses essentially. And so I'm thinking, and we were talking about it, it's what if these were actually aliens, and we get a little bit of a secret war in there or something. Maybe these are the Kree or something.
You almost remind me a little bit more of Avengers Disassembled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because during that, Wanda brings like Kree and Skrull.
That's
and
what I'm saying.
That's how
Maybe that's
Hawkeye
how all
dies.
this stuff I mean, there's a chance. I mean, there's
It's
something.
possible.
It's
I mean,
possible.
so one thing they didn't do is they didn't show Captain Marvel in this trailer at all, which
is good.
I don't know. I personally think it's a mistake.
I think they could have, and it would have been made the hype on Captain Marvel a lot better.
Exactly.
But at the same time, I feel like if you added Captain Marvel, I feel like after watching this trailer, it's obvious that they don't want to give you too much.
No, they
don't
don't.
want you. They want these theories to be very. They don't want you to. They want to make it where you almost don't have theories.
Yeah, we got straws to grab at here. And that's the other thing too, is this trailer really doesn't give you an idea of what the story is. Like, everyone kind of assumes Thanos is the big bad, but why would he be if he feels he's succeeded in his goal? What reason does he have to fight the Avengers again? So the Avengers are bringing the fight to him. But there's also there's got to be some other conflict. I feel like there has to be some other conflict going on, and I think something from Captain Marvel has to transfer over.
Which I'm thinking,
which
Secret
is
War.
why I'm saying you're probably not too
The Avengers
off, too far off.
Disassembled is essentially like the Avengers Disassembled storyline. This, instead of it being I can't remember who it was in Avengers Disassembled. It's Wanda. Yeah, instead of it being Wanda, what it causes to disassemble, it's actually Thanos. And then, but they have this Kree secret war going on, and then they almost come to the point where they have to get to Thanos and have to use him for help in some sort of way.
That would be interesting. It would kind of go around my my theory that we'll talk about later.
Yeah, but it kind of like make it like Thanos is technically the Wanda of the situation.
Well, that's the other thing too. It's like hunting for Thanos. You know, we find the guys responsible for all this and stuff. Like, even going back to the Infinity Gauntlet being just like tarnished and everything else. I don't know. At the end of Infinity Wars, before the final credits started rolling. It seemed like the Infinity Gauntlet like gave him some kind of like it's killing him, like that post snap did something, because you can see like black veins coming up his neck and stuff.
I'm sure it probably fucked him up.
Yeah, that's what I mean, and that's like him limping and stuff like that. It's
As two guys who vape, we can tell you that sometimes it feels like we get black veins when our vapes are like burning out on us. So we can understand how something could burn out and also fuck with you.
All right. So anyway, staying on Ronin.
You sound like such a fucking.
I know we sound like fucking douches.
You brought it up.
So
I'm just saying, I'm throwing you in there too.
Stay on the subject of Hawkeye. So, do you think why the fuck is he running off the Yakuza and all that stuff is his family post?
Oh, dude, his family's
definitely.
Dude, that look on his face told you everything.
Oh yeah, you know. And then also like
he
right
lost
over it,
all of them.
Right over it. That's like right when Cap says like we lost friends and then family, and then that's when you see like that's when they do the close up.
Thank you. Okay, okay. I'm glad I'm not the only one that pointed that out.
I mean, it's obvious.
Well,
there's so many little things that like with dialogue that's said in this trailer that's kind of like it kind of points to certain things, and then also it's kind of like really weird that Tony mentioned something for rescue.
I wanted to say too, yeah, because he put a real emphasis on the word rescue.
He put an emphasis on the word rescue, and also like Tony, like here's my problem with the Tony that you're talking about. Like we see a man who's okay with death. My problem with that is Tony. In every single movie that we see, he does whatever he possibly can to escape anybody getting hurt or himself getting hurt.
Yeah.
He is a very smart man, and he would find a way to, so it has to be in game for him to like actually admit to that. Right. I think it's kind of weird that
it's indicative of how much time has passed.
Tony does not strike me as the kind of person that would go, I'm going to sit here and wait for it to be rescue. So it's kind of weird that he puts an emphasis on rescue. And I think it makes me think it's
rescue armor. Yeah. But I think that also tells us how much time has passed. I mean, he had to have gotten off Titan, dealt
done
with whatever.
Everything he possibly can.
He already ran out of food, water, oxygen's running low. Like, some time has passed. I mean, enough time has passed for Cap to, fucking shave his beard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, well, going into
shave my beard tonight if I wanted
I'm
to.
just saying,
Well, going into that, I was going to talk about
Ronin. Keep talking about Ronin. Whatever else you got to say about Ronin.
Oh yeah, just like his family being dust and stuff like that. Give him the key word of.
But I want to know why is he in Japan or wherever? Why is he taking down the Yakuza?
He's investigating something.
Yeah,
I mean, he has to be investigating something.
Right. He's on to some kind of clue, and that's going to be a pivotal point in the movie. Like, hey, I've got this information. Then there might be some strife in between the team. Like, why didn't you come to us with this? Why did you take it on alone? You might be under the. I don't know who's left. I don't know who survived.
Unless it's Skrulls, and we're doing Secret War, and he doesn't know who he can trust.
Think about this though: 50% of the world's population done. has the world just descended into anarchy? I mean, you got talking
yeah.
about world leaders,
Yeah.
entire governments, things like that, just completely dismantled and left in disarray.
Businesses are
You know,
fucked, you know.
It's
so,
just like how does we talked about it before. I want
Yeah,
to know how
yeah,
this world
I was gonna say.
operates in the post-snap world. I need
yeah.
to know, but it's got to tie into whatever Hawkeye's doing too.
Well, see, it could be that, but I mean, also like with the way that whatever way the world's being run at that time. I mean, I would imagine that a lot of
It would have been
businesses.
a perfect chance to give Secret Empire a little nod for Cap to step up and be like, hey, we're going to get through this together, you know, like,
Oh, yeah.
stand behind me kind of thing. Don't do it, but it would have been a good
But
little
yeah,
nod.
I mean, he could just, for all we know, it could be something as basic as him just picking up being a mercenary of some sort to make money. Like he just kind of.
But is
gives up
money
on everything.
even worth anything in this world, you know?
I don't know.
I don't
Some sort
Well,
of
also
form of
too, like
currency of something,
maybe
you know.
like you
It's
said,
just the Wild West.
I totally agree. He's caught on to something. He's
Yeah.
going
Yeah,
after
I
it.
think
But
it's something like that. But
the lame version would be like he's angry. He's just like, I gotta find something.
I'm angry and I'm going to kill bad people.
Yeah,
Pretty
it's
much,
like,
yeah.
that's what I mean.
I
But-
don't think, I really hope they don't do
Yeah, I
that.
really
Yeah.
hope they don't either. But
Yeah.
that'd be the lame direction they would go with. But
Like, that's like a superhero temper tantrum.
yeah.
I don't like that.
But I don't know why you would keep Clint like just hidden this whole time. You didn't put him in the first movie just to bring him in a role that he's going to like a.
Yeah, I think
brat
he's got
tantrum.
a very important role
Yeah.
to play.
Oh, definitely.
Me definitely. And
I'm
then
excited.
we'll get to the other character we think has an important role in this. But we.
I'm wondering if your theory is the same as mine.
You've
I'm kinda-
also pointed it out already, but we've seen it.
I don't think that your theories are the same. I think because I don't. His theory doesn't make sense. But let's keep talking.
Okay.
How are you going to call me out like that?
Well, I mean, your theory makes sense, but at the same time, I don't. We
Anyway,
talked
let's
about it. Let's
just-
get back
Anyways,
to this.
so yeah, you already pointed out we had a clean shaven and back in his super soldier uniform.
It was
Captain
his
America.
self-strike suit from Winter Soldier,
Yep.
which I thought was interesting because in the concept art he's not wearing that, so you might have two different outfits.
I think
don't know.
I think that we're going to see about 3 different suit changes for Cap.
I really hope that concept art where it's got like the scale mail look
Yeah,
on
yeah,
it.
I
I
said
really
that.
hope that's like his final look, and I hope to Christ we do not see those the suits that were leaked for like the action figures, like the white
Yeah.
shit. God, I hope I don't see that.
See,
hope those are not
I
in this
feel
movie.
like the suit that we are seeing is going to be like a stealth. It's obviously the stealth suit. Blah, 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 blah. But I feel like
it's a nervous tick he has.
I know.
swear. It breaks tension. Go
yeah, I
ahead.
know, whatever. But I
Got
feel
called out
like
on it.
it's him. That's the suit that he's going to be wearing when they are trying to find people, see who is left, and then go through their roster of all these people that they know that they have teamed up with. And that's just the suit that he's wearing when they are going on these hunts, you know, to see where is Hawkeye and where is Scott Lang, because they don't know who all has been dusted. They just know who was dusted in front of them on Wakanda.
Cap has no idea where Tony is.
That's the other thing too.
The last they all heard is like Tony Stark missing in the New York thing.
Yeah,
That's
he
like
doesn't
the
know.
last-
He doesn't even know that Tony is in space.
No, he has no clue.
Like nobody knows that.
Yeah, and the very interesting shot they had with Captain America is he actually got the picture of Peggy Carter and the locket or compass or whatever it is.
time travel. He's
Yeah.
gonna see her again.
So that's what I think too. Just like it just give me the quote. If this plane doesn't work, I don't know what we're gonna do.
Oh yeah, he's like, this has to work because I don't know what
Yeah.
else.
Yeah, because
I don't know what I'll do if it
I don't
doesn't.
know if it,
But I just thought it was interesting they showed another, this is another tease. Are they fucking with us, the directors and stuff like that? You have Tony at the beginning talking about the end for him, and then you see him looking at the picture of Peggy Carter. Is he going to get his one last dance with Peggy Carter because he thinks he's going to death? And was that little tease at that?
I don't know, man. I mean, it could be a sign of him, accepting death. The way, I mean, it almost mirrors what Tony seems to be doing in the beginning.
Yeah.
Is kind of accepting this idea that it's over for him. But let's move on.
Yeah, and then also
Not a whole lot to say about a lot.
on the subject of him
Yeah.
saying this is going to work.
He's
like,
really like
what?
Not to interrupt him, but like when we were talking about this an hour before you came here, he was really fixated on that locket for a hot second.
Oh, I was just.
He was like, "Why is he looking at Peggy? I thought he'd be over that bitch and be on to
Yeah,
like
his
Sharon.
granddaughter
And
banging
why
his
the fuck isn't he looking at that
granddaughter?
locket with Sharon Carter's picture in it?
He's so hung up. Anyways,
Unless,
Bucky
unless
in there?
Sharon has a gun pointed at him.
Oh Jesus, can we move on?
and then as the subject was saying, this is going to work. What do you guys think the plan is that it's going to work?
I have no.
Dude,
clue. It could be anything.
I mean, they have to be teaming up with Wakanda, right? I mean, they have the tech,
Yeah.
So that's got to be their end all be all idea, unless Tony left behind some plans going like, hey, there was a last ditch effort. Like, here's an apocalypse oh man, why am I blanking on this term? But you know, it's just like a caveat. If like, hey, if the apocalypse would happen, here's kind of a thing to do. God, I'm blanking. I don't know what to call it.
But yeah, and then we cut to, you know, of course, the title, and then we finally get the reveal of what the Avengers film is
Can
going to
we
be
talk
called.
about the title though?
Yeah, I will.
I think it's pretty cool because to me it looks like it's like the ashes forming together to make the A.
Yeah, and then you pointed out, I thought that was
undo
really
the
cool,
snap.
is the actual Avengers. You
Yeah.
said it looks like the quantum realm travel.
It kind of looks like if you look inside, and which is like I said, it's like when I was telling
Can
you
be a
this,
far shot, yeah.
it's very deep, and it's kind of like I don't think they would put that much thought into that. But inside of the event, like the lettering, it looks kind of like the way that people move in the quantum realm,
Yep.
and the way that like ghosts would move.
It's possible. I mean, if you look at the lettering for Avengers and Age of Ultron, it's very mechanical looking.
Yeah.
All the letters are very mechanical and shit like that.
Yeah, but like it's also like they're hollowed out.
Well, it's like the...
And then it just looks like it just has that color, the color to it, and it also has like this. It just kind of looks the way that people move when they're in the quantum realm, not the quantum realm itself, but just the way they move.
quantum.
Well,
energy.
it makes perfect
Yeah,
sense
the quantum
because
energy.
just like the Infinity Wars, I mean, if you see it, it's like that kind of steel gold
Yeah.
off of the Infinity Gauntlet. So
Yeah, there's a chance.
There's a chance they could do it. It's not a bad pickup. Now, what do you think about Endgame? Hey, do you guys like the title?
I do. I like it.
I like it.
I'm honestly happy it's not Annihilation.
I'm glad it's not Annihilation because that's like
That's a
there's
term
so
you-
much stuff that you would have to put in there for it to like fit.
Well, I mean, look at Age of Ultron. It's nothing to do with the comic book title, but the thing is, for me, Annihilation, save that for when you have Fantastic Four and those characters
Yeah.
back. I think Annihilation is something you save for a later phase. Endgame works perfectly for me. There is a comic book series called Avengers Endgame, so why not?
Yeah, and then like we talked about how many times it was referenced through the actual.
That's referenced a few times.
Yeah,
It was referenced by Strange, but there was another time somebody said it too.
Tony Stark says it in
when he
Age of
says it's the
Ultron.
Endgame
That's right,
that I've
yeah.
seen-
There you
foreseen.
go.
And then
Yeah.
who else said it? There, we lined them up. There's another one.
Ultron. He actually said
Ultron.
it in Endgame.
But there's somebody else before Ultron. I think. Oh no, I can't remember.
I mean, there's somebody
It was
else. in
something
there.
else.
I don't know, like going
That
back
was
to
Loki, right? Tony talking
Yeah,
about
Loki and
Loki.
Avengers.
Loki, yeah.
There you go.
Well, no,
Endgame.
it was Tony talking about Loki and Avengers, right? Like, this is the end game. This is the ninth
Yeah,
ending
yeah.
or whatever. He's
Yeah.
talking like he wants a big statue monument up to the
Exact-
skies.
yeah,
I think
that's
he
it.
says. I think he
Yeah.
said end game
So they
there.
say it.
But it was
like,
in the first
sprinkled-
Avengers movie, though.
sprinkled in
Yeah.
the first two. movies.
I think you're right.
That's pretty sweet.
I'm sure it wasn't intentional, but still.
So that means it's in Endgame is in every single Avengers movie. The word Endgame is in every
Yep.
single
Yeah.
one.
And then I don't know. Like I was cool with Endgame. It was the most predictable one. It was the high one everybody was
Full Tilt
taking.
Diva.
And I was kind of hoping it'd be like the late John Snepp. He actually said, what was it, Avengers Reassemble or something like that. And I don't know, he had one of the titles, and I thought
So
Avengers
a lot of people were
Assemble.
speculating disassemble and reassemble.
Yeah.
And Avengers Assemble.
Avengers Assemble was actually the name of the first one in overseas. Like in
Yeah.
Europe, it was called Avengers Assemble. So
Yeah.
you don't do that. But no, Endgame is cool because I think it also. I mean, it's kind of like Spider-Man: Homecoming, right? There's a double meaning to the word Homecoming. It's like Spider-Man's back home in the Marvel universe. It's being made by Marvel with in conjunction with Sony. But Endgame is like this is it. Like the last 10, 11 years, that all your main heroes that you've come to love in the past 10 years, this is it. This is where it all ends for them. Whoever makes it out alive probably just retires, goes their own way, whatever. This signifies the end of the Avengers world as we know it. Moving on, it's going to be different characters for the most part, and there's a lot of passing the torch, things like that. I think it's a good name.
Yeah, I feel like I agree. Granted, I do agree with you. It was kind of predictable, but I don't think it's a bad name. I
and the
definitely
other-
prefer that over some of the other ones that were speculated.
Yeah.
And then at the very end, we actually get a real funny clip. Kind of, there's like a Debbie Downer kind of, kind of
Very depressing Avengers.
yeah.
trailer.
And then
Not
at the
one where
very
you
end,
get done watching and you're like,
yeah. And then right at the very end, we get Scott Lang at the front door.
My boy!
It's kind of goofy, but at the same time, like you can tell it's urgent with him.
Mhm.
It's a little goofy, but it's still
gotta
not
move,
like
snappy.
Yeah, it's not like
Yep.
him cracking jokes. It's
I was really big.
whatever I gotta say for you to fucking remember me. Get me
Yeah.
in there. I need to talk to you.
Buzz me in.
Yeah.
And so, what was your theory before?
I don't know. I want to go now. I don't
Go ahead,
know.
man.
Go.
All right, so my theory is during the snap, Scott's in the quantum realm, right?
Yeah.
So the quantum realm, for the way it has been kind of told to us, is it's kind of its own universe, right? So when Thanos snaps, he wipes out 50% of all life, and Scott is in, for all intents and purposes, another universe. When he comes back, it throws an entire wrench in the plan. It might fuck up everything because it was supposed to be an even 50% chance divide. So when Scott comes back, it just sets off a ripple effect that Thanos is like, everything is out of balance now.
So you're saying that he's supposed to be snapped, but since he was in the quantum realm, he was saved.
He was saved, and then when he comes back,
Ooh, I like
it
that.
fucks everything up. It fucks up this whole plan of 50%.
Like the butterfly effect.
Kind of,
Yeah, kind of.
But it just messes up that plan, and then his whole thing was balance, right? He's balancing the knife.
And
that throws it off balance.
So it's not 50%. It's not a full 50%.
It's not a 50% thing. And
Damn.
who knows what? I don't know.
Your
what
theory
that
sounds
does.
stupid, really stupid right
Yeah,
now.
I know. I don't want to say
That one's a good one. You know what?
Neat. But no. Also, the thing is too. It's like I was curious when Thanos was talking about 50%, right? And this trailer made me think about it a little bit more. When he was talking about the 50%, does it mean 50% from each world, or just a cumulative 50%? Could you do 75% of Earth and only like 25% of the fucking Mars if there's life on there, or is it 50% from each planet? You know what I mean?
See,
So some worlds just completely decimated and wiped out, while some were completely saved and nothing got touched. You know, it just makes me wonder, how does that fit in with Scott if he's coming back from the quantum realm? How does it throw everything out of balance, throw out of whack? But I think Scott actually has a very important part to play just by his mere existence, because he probably was supposed to be dusted.
Yeah. Now you guys say your theory.
Oh, I just saw this last scene was
We
just
didn't
like
mention Thor.
I know, we didn't mention Thor just looking completely
definitive,
definitive, and it also doesn't look like he has a cybernetic eye.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
he does. Okay,
Oh, yeah.
there's one. I think I paused it at one point, and it didn't look like he had one in there. But
I thought I saw someone make a meme. God, you people are fucking quick on the trigger with those memes. But there's a picture of him that says what it looks like after you've lost a Super Bowl. Like that's kind of I'm like, yeah, that's kind of what it looks like. But anyway, so good.
I was just saying, like, it was really fishy, and you even said that too. So don't you fucking cop out on me here.
I didn't say it was fishy.
Yeah, it was like I thought it was real fishy that they showed like a stretch back shot of this, and they showed.
Oh, you mean it was being enlarged? Yeah. Okay.
And Black Widow and Black Widow and Captain America, how they reacted. Like, don't get me wrong, Captain America's only met Scott Lang one time, and Black Widow's barely knows Scott, and they reacted like somebody's on that screen that they're shocked that's there, and the way Cap reacts, I feel like there's somebody with Scott, and you know how the Russo brothers put shit in the trailer that's probably not really how it's filmed.
Like Hulk in that one shot running,
where they're all running and all that shit. I just feel like they're fucking with this.
Well, you know what? We didn't see Banner anywhere either.
No, we did. He was the one that was looking on the screen.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, okay, yeah, you're right. So you think that they cut those two scenes together and they're not actually...
I think they filmed two
different
scenes.
No, they do, because they even reference...
They say front door.
Yeah.
Is that live now? Yeah, it's at the front door.
Yeah.
But he's leaving it out. He thinks it's Tony. He thinks that it's actually, they're thinking it's Tony that they're reacting to on the screen.
I mean, that might evoke that kind of reaction out of Cap, but
see, my thing is my thing is about that theory is if it was Tony, they wouldn't be like standing there and just be like, is this like a real footage? Is this like old footage? Like, I think they would be running to the fucking door. They wouldn't be like just sitting there.
I don't know. I mean,
asking.
You've kind of settled into this idea that half the world's gone. I haven't seen or heard from Tony, and then you see him pop up on screen. You might go, what the fuck?
I know.
But you're right, though. I didn't actually think about that. That Ant-Man scene and that might be completely two different scenes, not interacting with each other. It's very possible.
My thing is them having that reaction. I think that
depending on how much time, watch it and pay closer attention.
Yeah. Depending on how much time has passed, I think that does count for their reaction. I mean, you got to think. The way I'm viewing this is that they have been sitting there and they have been going through and hunting down everybody that they've ever teamed up with because they need people. They need men. So they're going around, they're hunting for all these people. And then they can't find Scott because Scott's in the quantum realm. So if depending on how much time, it makes sense because they completely can't find him, that it makes sense to me that they would have that reaction to seeing him. And I'm imagining you're not having a whole lot of people knocking at that door, sitting here going like, oh, is any Avengers here? But my biggest problem with it that makes me feel like it's a different cut scene is you're telling me that the Avengers headquarters is locked with a gate and chain and a padlock.
Padlock. It might be just there's no one there to run it. There's no one there to maintain it.
I get that. But my thing is like you're telling me that that's the only way. You're telling me that that's how you're gonna lock it up. It's just a chain and padlock.
Yeah, but you also debunked your theory on that too as soon as you seen the van.
What?
The logo on the van.
Oh no, I was saying because we were also talking about how maybe this is he comes back in the wrong time, and so that maybe this is the future. Like maybe he's actually arrived in the future time, or maybe it's a different, or maybe it's like in the past. But my problem is like it would have to be he would have to when he came back, it would have had to been like he would have to come back out the same entrance point that he went in, because the van is there and it also has the ex-con logo on it.
Yeah,
right.
So he would have to come out of the quantum
I'm
realm
guessing
the same
that's
way he came in.
not out of time. Like it's not out of the
No,
timeline.
I don't think it is either.
But I was just thinking now, completely off topic with this theory. And was that your theory?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're talking about what's the plan? What this has to work. If it doesn't, I don't know what else to do. What if when Shuri was taking the Mind Stone out of Vision, she was actually replicating and copying Vision's personality and all this stuff, and maybe even trying to replicate the Mind Stone itself? So
she could be
because
hiding.
You're not, because you are not. Well, no, because you're not going to go after Thanos without an Infinity Stone. You're just not going to do it. It'd be dumb. But what if you can replicate the Mind Stone? Because the way Shuri, I mean, who knows how Wakandan tech works, but what she was also doing, she was duplicating and downloading all the schematics of not only the Mind Stone but also Vision. So Banner, knowing what to do, he takes over from where Shuri was. He's like, oh, I see what she was onto, and he finishes the work, brings back Vision, and maybe Vision's part of the reason they're like, we're going to take this to Thanos. I don't know.
Okay. I mean, that's not a bad theory either. The other thing that kind of bugs me about this trailer is when Banner's looking at those pictures.
Yeah.
The Shuri one changes over to Tom
Parker,
Holland,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Scott Lang stays there. Stays there. The one thing that really bothers me is why isn't Tony the first on that list?
Well, who knows when we enter that scene?
Yeah, I know. I mean, but I'm just saying, like, they really want you to think they really want you to remember, like, understand that.
I mean,
they think
there's
Scott
your
Lang
best
is missing.
best possibility of having like CGI kind of fuck around.
Yeah.
That's what we were talking about too.
Yeah.
The other thing that we talked about was when we see Tony. Okay, so we've seen the behind the scenes footage of them reshooting for Avengers number one.
Yeah.
Tony has gray hair. He has a lot of hair, and it's gray.
Yeah.
When we see Tony in
And
this
he's also
trailer,
in a shield outfit.
yeah, he's in a shield outfit. But when we see Tony in this movie, he doesn't have gray hair.
No.
Yeah.
I know. I'm saying. I think as we've talked before, I think the quantum realm is a way to actually
I think quantum realm is going to
move
play a
in,
huge
because
part in this.
that's going to be where a place where time is not a linear thing. It's not even circular. It's like there's I forget what theorists came up with it, but like time is actually just a pond. You can dive in and come out of a pond somewhere completely differently, and you're in a different time. You know, it could be something like that. And you come into a different time of infinite realities. I mean, we're talking about there could be multiple realities in this movie too.
Oh yeah, well that was another thing that we were talking about was like maybe
Pretty much how
Paul
they probably
Rudd's
get
from a
Captain Marvel, dude. They go back to the fucking 90s and like, hey, Captain Marvel, you're pretty strong.
Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff. There's one person I saw that actually planned out this footage that they think that Tony Stark is going to, or not planned out footage, but they pulled out a bunch of all kinds of crazy stuff, saying that they think Captain Marvel is going to be the one that saves Tony. Because they showed a map, like a comic book map,
That's
where it shows
possible.
that Kree, the planet of Kree.
Yeah.
If you're heading to Earth, and you got a page from Nick Fury, and you're heading to Earth, you
Titan
are
would be on the
passing
way.
Titan,
Yeah.
and then you'd
I
be on
wonder
the
if
way.
Titan is still considered to be a moon of Saturn. Because
They say something
that's
different in
technically
the movie.
right.
Yeah.
Well, they just say Titan.
Yeah, they just say Titan.
But, I mean, realistically, Titan is a moon of Saturn, but it's huge. It's a huge
Yeah.
moon. So who knows if it technically is. So on her way to Earth, if it is, a moon of Saturn, yeah, she would probably have to pass it to get to
yeah.
Earth.
And then another
Or
theory-
maybe
Okay, go ahead.
Korg and Valkyrie roaming around.
That's probably true too. We know they're pretty much all but confirmed to have survived. They got off the ship when Thanos came in. You're probably not too far off, honestly.
Hey man,
I think-
what's that oxygen?
You need some food.
But I think the quantum realm is definitely going to play a huge part. I mean, you got to think like Paul Rudd.
This movie's gonna be bonkers.
Scott Lang is bringing the quantum realm tunnel with him when he goes to
Right.
the Avengers place. When the Avengers
I want to know how the
headquarters-
hell they got out.
Yeah, I want to know that. That's the part that makes me like. That's the.
I mean,
that's
he's
the
done
big
it
shock to me.
before.
in
He's
this
done
trailer.
it once, so I'm guessing maybe as like a fail safe. It's like, hey, I've done it once before. I just take the thing on my belt and boop.
Well, he's an engineer, so I mean, he can
Yeah.
sit there and we've seen like him and Ant-Man where he's like he's fucking around with it. He's trying to. He could fuck around with it and try to figure a way out, but I think that it's going to play a huge part. I think that he's going to have some kind of information that nobody knows, because like in the quantum realm,
That's
you
why
see
he's in
time and
such a hurry.
space.
Yeah.
He got some kind of information while he's in the quantum realm. And I was sitting here thinking that like maybe he's even heard some of the messages that Tony's recording in that helmet, and he's hearing some of this stuff, and he goes, and he's the one who goes there. Tony's still alive. He's in space. We need to get up there. And then maybe that's what their plan is to somehow go to Wakanda and find a way to get to space.
That
to
is
save Tony.
a good call, dude. I wouldn't have even thought about that. If he's able to intercept the message somehow, that's cool.
Like he, because I mean, like he has a time and space. I mean, that could be a big thing.
I like that.
Yeah, but my biggest theory is, or not theory, but my biggest question is, how long is Tony stuck in space, and how long did it take for Tony to fuck Nebula?
I knew you were gonna bring that up. And
I mean, that's a good question. You're stuck in space.
Yeah, and then out of guilt, he wants to talk to Pepper. He's like, you know what? I fucked this blue robot.
I fucked this
Feel
blue
super
robot.
bad about it.
And
Pepper,
I love you. I remember.
It wasn't the same. I thought about you the whole time.
It was a robot. It was sharp. I know I wear a suit, but
I don't think you recorded that message for Pepper. Yeah, I think it was for his adopted
Miss
parents.
Potts. Yeah. Her adopted parents.
His adopted parents.
Oh.
Dude, he didn't think about that line, too. He's like, as I'm dozing off, I'll be thinking of you always. I was like, man.
It's always you. And I'm
always
like,
you. Yeah, I was like, fuck, dude. That's some romantic poetry right there.
Yeah.
That's good. But anyway, what are we moving on to, James?
All right,
so we're going more theories.
We're
more theories.
That's all I had for.
Do you have any more
Avengers.
theories? I've been wanting. I haven't talked to you all day. Like really, it's your birthday. I've been trying to like leave you alone for the most part. And I just I know he has a lot to say, and I feel like you haven't said a whole lot about this
birthday
trailer.
boy. What's your last theory before we move on?
I don't know, man. Like, they did not give us a lot to glob onto in this trailer, and I love that. Like, I love that I have no idea what's going to be happening in this movie, but, from stuff we know from behind the scenes, pics that we've seen and stuff like that. Barf, I think, is supposed to make an appearance. I don't know what the fuck to expect from this movie, man, but all the stuff they showed us kind of show a very grounded take on everything, but I know this has to get super fantastic, too. So I'm just going.
Yep.
Fantastic. Are you like winking?
Fantastical.
Okay.
Super outside the realm of actual physical possibility for this world we live in now because of everything that the precedent set from Avengers 3. But no, I'm just excited to see this movie, and honestly, I think this movie is going to be the best Marvel movie to date. I really do.
I hope so.
The way this trailer was cut together and the way they presented it, I'm going. I mean, the comedy will be there, but the stakes are absolutely there. The stakes have never been this high before.
Oh, yeah.
This movie is going to blow every other comic movie out of the realm, I think.
Yeah.
I do have a quick question, though, for everybody. Before we stop talking about the Avengers trailer, I would like to know what your favorite moment is. And, just kind of, say why it's your favorite moment. Is it because it makes you think of something? Or is it just literally just a moment that just go, okay, now I'm excited? What is your favorite moment?
My guilty one before I get to my second favorite, because this is pretty easy, because Ant-Man's my favorite Avengers member.
Of course, now it is.
I've always loved Ant-Man.
I didn't know that.
And I just, the final scene was cool. But the thing about it is, too, is the tone. That was my favorite about it. It was just we pick up right where we left off. Everybody's excited about this trailer, it's going to drop like this, drop like that. And then I think it was not what we were expecting. We were probably expecting a more
definitely not what
kind
I
of
was
thing.
expecting.
Yeah.
So
because Marvel has this track record of just showing too much sometimes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They were super reserved with this, and they held it back. I mean, it's still very close to the chest.
I mean, I was gonna ask your guys' thoughts, structure wise overall.
Do you think anybody's gonna complain that Captain America wasn't smiling in this trailer?
People are fucking retards.
Okay, so we got your favorite. Now it's your favorite.
Honestly, I think it's got to be Cap. As much as I love the Tony stuff, man, it hurts my heart to watch it. I love it.
It makes you scared.
But there's something about when I see Cap on screen. There's just this weird thing where I get just hopeful. When Cap's around, I go, things are gonna be okay. But to see even him, down in the dumps, just questioning whether or not they're gonna make it out of this alive, or they can reverse this, and that he's been defeated. Seeing him that way hurts me even more, and so I gotta say that's my favorite part. Other than after that, it would be Hawkeye.
Now that part, yeah.
Seeing Hawkeye, I was just thank you for not making this some bullshit Justice League Superman reveal. Well, every trailer doesn't have Superman. He's not gonna be in this. Fuck you. We all knew it. We all know Hawkeye's coming back. Thank you for throwing it in the first trailer. Don't keep that shit hidden. We know, so just give it to us. And I'm glad it was just a quick thing. But for feels moments, Tony, goddamn. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the number one, it's Cap. It's just seeing Cap with the attitude that we failed and we might never.
But at the same time, not giving up.
Yeah, but there's also that idea. There's just, you can tell there's a part of it that's like, we may never be able to reverse this. We may never be able to fix this.
This is life.
Yeah. And I love that.
What about you, Josh?
My favorite moment would be the Ant-Man. Like, okay, so the Scott Lang thing, and it's not because it's humorous or anything like that. It's because now, like when I watched the whole trailer, I'm like, okay, my thoughts were kind of running. I'm going, okay, so what's going to happen with Tony? How is he going to get out of this? We know that he's going to be
playing
a
idea
part
of
in
Captain
this.
Marvel now.
I
like that.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, we know that he's going to be playing a part in this. It just kind of makes you wonder who's going to be saving him, because you know he's going to get saved. So it's like, okay, is it going to be Captain Marvel? Is it going to be like Scott Lang comes back with some kind of information from the quantum realm? Something, you know? So you like some of the stuff kind of keeps your mind running. You know, you start kind of questioning some stuff. But when he comes out, when like you see him, he's out. Like in your head, you're going like, before this trailer, the whole time I'm sitting here going, how are they going to get Scott Lang out of the quantum realm? And he's out of it. So I'm like, so my mind's running and going like, okay, so one, he's acting urgent. So what does he have to say? What does he have to do? What is he trying to bring to the table? And then also, how the hell did he get out of there?
Yep.
And so like that gets my mind going like, oh man, anything's possible in this movie right now. And then my second favorite would be, I want to say it's a tie between the Tear of Cap.
Yeah.
That part just like kind of like gave me
Man,
chills.
that
It gives me
hurts.
chills every single time I watch it. That are just the reveal of Ronan. I love Ronan. I think he's a great character, and I love I've been thinking they were going to be doing Ronan ever since they showed the picture of just hit like a little bit of a boot. And so I'm like, okay, this confirms that he's Ronan, and that's badass.
Dude,
Ronan's such a cool character.
Well, the thing is, it's Hawkeye with just like, there's no humor, there's nothing funny. I'm out for
serious
blood.
Hawkeye. Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
it's gonna be cool to see Hawkeye like that. But I just thought about this too. Carol Danvers would know who Tony Stark is. Because if you go back to Iron Man 1 and like when he goes to like Vegas to get his trophy thing, they do that whole kind of montage of his life. Back in the 90s, he was still a very prominent figure. People knew who he was. He was, you know, the son of... So when she saves him, she might know who he is.
Well...
If she saves him. But either way, when they interact, she might know.
Maybe. Because...
They'd actually be about the same age. Because you got to think,
Captain
he'd be
Marvel,
born in like the late... Like probably the 70s.
You got to think about this. Captain Marvel happens in 94.
Yeah.
Like that movie's in 94. When Tony's parents died, his adopted parents died.
In 92.
Died in 92. So he was young. He was still in college.
Yeah, but he was still very famous.
Oh, I mean, of course,
No, he
he's a
wasn't in
star.
college.
That was
because they say
91.
no, it was 1992, December 16, 1992.
That's what he wants to know about.
December
Give him that information.
No, it is 91. I think you're right.
It is
I think it's 91.
I think you're right.
Okay.
Because I said, oh, that's
regardless.
the year of my
But
birth.
either way,
Year of my
if
birth.
you remember, Stark actually went to MIT like the age of 7.
That's right. That's
So
right.
no, he's the he was.
Yeah,
people
but
know who he is.
we've seen him. He was a younger Tony. I mean, we kind of know what was going on.
I'm just
around
saying, if
that
she
time
meets him, she'll be like, "Oh, Tony Stark." Yeah,
period. It's a
I
Stark.
know your name.
She's going to
Yeah.
know who he is regardless because
Right.
he is a Stark.
Well, I
you know?
remember he's
Yeah.
wiped out. She might not know who he is.
Oh, damn
Yeah.
it! God damn it!
But wait a
You're
minute,
right.
wait a minute. But we haven't seen this movie
I know,
yet.
I
She
know,
could
I
get
know.
her memory by
But
the end
this
of
is
the
actually a
movie.
really good segue for.
Captain Marvel trailer dropped as well.
Yay.
No, before we go into that, I wanted to say, like, overall, the trailer, too, I was actually against this trailer dropping this week.
I was, too, because of this Captain Marvel trailer.
Yeah, because the
Yeah.
marketing-wise for the trailer we're
That
about
plus
to talk
other
about.
news.
But, like you said, overall, I went into this the same and walked out the same way. I don't know shit about this movie, what's going on. You pretty much tease something to satisfy the fans, to shut everybody the fuck up for a little bit, and you gave us like shit's fucking still going down,
Yeah.
and you felt the feels from that. So bravo to how they structured this trailer.
Okay,
and
so I'll
put
give
it
my brief takeaway from this trailer. My takeaway is we don't know the conflict for Thanos. We don't know what Thanos wants, what he's doing, where he's at. We do know Avengers 3 was a Thanos movie.
Yep.
Now we know Avengers 4 is going to be the flip side. This is the Avengers movie.
Yep.
This is their film. So their objective is to take the fight to Thanos reverse. But what is Thanos? Like, what's his deal? What's his objective? What's his motivations? Is he just going to be sprung on, here come a bunch of Avengers, oh shit, I wasn't ready for this fight? Or is he preparing?
Yep.
Or is there another conflict? Something that we don't know. And I like that we don't know.
Yeah, and I like that you said that because I want to chime into that, like you flipping the coin.
Yeah.
Because if you notice, all the dialogue in the Avengers Infinity War was mostly Thanos. And what is it this time? It's mostly the heroes.
Tony and
So
Cap.
it's just like, I love
Dude,
that.
that reuniting scene, when that finally fucking happens, when Tony and Cap reunite, God, I'm going to cry.
Got your shield.
I'm going to cry. I promise I will. I'll cry. I'll probably
My
cry.
father's shield.
don't deserve
thoughts.
that shield, dude. But when they finally come back together and they like do the
Oh, no,
whole
that's gonna be-
Arnold and like Carl Weathers, like
It's gonna be
we're
like
back.
me when you came into the shop
Son of a
today.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Like,
I came and
ran after
ran
me.
at you as fast as
I
I
was
can.
like-
My pudgy little legs.
It's like Josh Stank.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's.
You
Move
know,
on.
no final thoughts?
About what?
You like the trailer structure? Anything? Nothing? All right, whatever.
No, I like the fact that like there's nothing there. Like I mean, we're trying to put theories onto this, but the truth is there's not
Nothing
enough.
there, yeah.
I mean, like you're talking about conflict. I mean, it could be as simple as because we don't know how everything's going to be lined up at all, and it could be something as simple as they save Tony first. They go back in time to the first Avengers movie. They end up getting the Tesseract, and because Thor knows that the Tesseract is an Infinity Stone,
And
so they
Scott
take
Lang
that,
forgot
and
his
then-
keys
no,
inside.
they take
That's
that,
the reason why he's trying to get inside the
but
door.
they have they get the Infinity Stone from the first movie, and then they go ahead and keep that and safe, and then so he doesn't get that, and then and next thing you know, Thanos is wearing the Infinity Gauntlet, and he looks, boom, stone's missing. What the fuck?
Or Ant-Man shrinks down, gets inside the gauntlet, and picks one out. And,
All kinds of shit,
or
man.
or Tony actually does die. They go back in time, get Tony, a younger Tony, bring him back. Like, who the fuck knows? We can't do
Or
it.
Tony dies, and then they find a virtual reality Tony, and they use him. You know,
All
All right,
so
going
this-
on to the another trailer that dropped this week that would be staying in the Marvel universe is Captain Marvel dropped. Did we actually trailer number 2?
I believe so.
Or did
yeah.
you say trailer number 1 besides this teaser?
I'd say it's probably the first official full. It was a full length trailer, right?
Yeah,
Was
it's
it 2.5
full-length.
minute trailer?
Yeah, so we'll go with that. They kicked the trailer off, and I forget who it was. I think it was Mark Ellis that might have pointed this out. Very interesting to get the hero, the famous shot of her punching the old lady in the face.
Yeah, it was like to quell any beef people have with it. Like, why is she punching an old lady? Well, I guess we should probably show the fact that's not a real old lady. It feels almost like they're pandering.
Yeah,
to that.
I
Yeah,
didn't.
I
I
don't
didn't
like
get that either because, like, wouldn't you kind of get the idea of an old lady just like turned and growled like some kind of creature?
I mean, like, all you gotta say is like the Skrulls, they're the bad guys. Doesn't even say something that they're shapeshifters in
Let
the
her
trailer. Does he say
Skrulls.
that?
I think so.
Yeah, so it's like put 2 and 2 together, people, or just watch the
I
goddamn.
mean,
movie.
I'm sorry. Like, if you ask me anything that happens in this trailer, like word for word or scene
Yeah.
for scene, I've been watching the Avengers trailer all day.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm
And
like-
here's the thing: like, he's excited for the Captain Marvel trailer. Like, he loves Carol. I love Carol, but not as Captain
he
Marvel.
likes Warbird Carol.
I like
I like
Miss Marvel
Carol. I
character.
like Captain. You know.
but, yeah, I'm not a big fan, but
Granted, I'm not liking. I'm slowly kind of getting more on his boat with the way that they've been doing Captain Marvel in the comic books. It's like I used to like it, and it's like slowly they're
just ahead
ruining
of
the
the
character.
Um, I don't know, man. There's not that trailer was fine. It was fine. You know, didn't do a lot for me. Didn't move my needle one way or the other. Really, I'm like, I'm still gonna see it, but I don't have any more excitement than I already did.
Yeah, there's only a few scenes in this
There
in
are,
this
and
trailer
they're
that
pretty
kind of gets me
badly
like I
CGI
really want to see
rendered
it.
for me.
Yeah, and there's only a few ones that I really got excited about when I saw them.
Yeah. The
Little nod to the
Super
binary
Saiyan,
and
little
yeah,
Super Saiyan.
yeah, the Super Saiyan when she goes Super
Which-
Saiyan.
That's your binary nod, which I thought was cool.
Or when we find out that Carol's vegan.
Yep, and she got vegan
Yeah,
powers.
when she got vegan powers.
No,
yeah.
I thought that was actually in the trailer for a second. I was like, really?
No. You remember in Scott Pilgrim when and he
The
kind
vegan
of goes
powers?
Super Saiyan.
I
Yeah,
get it. I get
yeah,
it.
that means it better than you. Yeah, that and then also just,
Milks and eggs.
I know,
bitch.
like I kind of agree
Milk
with
and
you.
eggs, bitch.
The rendering was not that great. So,
No,
but
it's not
I'm not going to
polished.
judge them on that because
No.
it's a trailer. But just seeing these like scenes where the way she's flying through space and then with I know a lot of people don't really like that helmet.
Oh,
I
love
like
the
that helmet.
helmet.
I love it.
I love the helmet.
But like the way she's flying and she's like twirling around and shit. I'm like, oh man,
It
if the
looks
CG
cool.
gets better,
Right.
Like which I know it's going to.
It needs polish.
It needs polished. Once it does, that is going to be a killer scene.
It
Yeah.
is.
And,
And it looks like the fight, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, that is taking place over Earth.
Over
Yeah,
Earth,
that's what it looks like to
me.
I noticed that too. Nitpicking through these like kind of trailers, some of the big scenes I seen, I thought it was a cool little throwback. It looked like the same warehouse, Shield warehouse that was in Winter Soldier.
I was wondering that.
And
I
it
really
looked like,
was.
yeah, it looked like it was like the upcoming process of it.
It'd be cool if they were like, oh yeah, we're building Arnim Zola's brain.
Yeah, well, one of the things I really like about this, we know the main villains are the Skrulls, and obviously,
I don't know. I'm starting to go, you know what? Carol says, I'm not fighting your war, but I'm going to end it. I think she turns on the Kree and the Skrull. The Kree and the Skrulls. I think she's against both of them. She wants nothing to do with either of them. They
Yeah,
both,
I'll give
I
her
don't
that.
think so either. I think that's. I don't know. I think it's about the same way. I think that
Jude Law ends
I
up
think
being
Jude
the
Law's the
villain.
main villain, and like me and you talked about it. Me and him was talking about it earlier. I think that they're going to do what I really hope that they don't, and I just see it them going like, this is going to be the easiest, fastest way that we can explain it, and have it where Jan Rog kills Captain Marvel, and then he poses as Captain Marvel, and then acts as her mentor, and you find out that he's actually the villain the whole time.
Yeah.
And that's going to piss me off, because then that means that you're like, what's the word?
Dude, he got no love in that trailer, so they're keeping him close to the vest,
they're
too.
keeping him, yeah. And so it's like, okay, so it makes me feel like they're going to make him the villain, and I don't like that, because that means that you're taking Captain Marvel, not Carol Danvers Captain Marvel, but Captain Marvel. You're taking him, and you're kind of just making him like, oh, he's just a throwaway character.
Dude, which
that's garbage. You can't do that.
He's one of those characters that they've never really decided to bring back from death. You know what I mean?
Which, that also adds to that character.
Right. It's just one of those things that was so genuine and something so impactful at the time in the comic books that like they've never tried to really undo it. There are times where it turned out it was a Skrull who didn't realize he wasn't the real Captain Marvel. They've done that, but yeah, if you shit on his legacy, I mean,
that's gonna really. I mean, I know
a
lot of people.
Most general
out there,
audiences are not gonna care.
They're not gonna care,
know,
but it's gonna really rub me the wrong way.
Well, that's one of the things I didn't like when it was just only Tony that created
it wasn't. It
Ultron.
was him and Banner.
Well, him and Banner, but you didn't have Hank Pym like involvement.
No,
or anything
I
that.
did not like that. You're right.
Yeah, so
that was. But I get it because it makes sense.
They could have retroactively
sense
changed that though. They could have retroactively once Ant-Man came out the very next film, which was that same year. Had they just been like, oh yeah, Tony actually dusted off some old plans of mine to build AI.
Yeah.
Had it done that, man, fine. You know what? I forgive it. All right, cool. That's all I had to do.
Yeah, and the one thing I had, I don't know if this is like kind of like stepping on the toes of we talked about what prequels do is Ben Mendelsohn is like a director of S.H.I.E.L.D. And so does that always ruin the actual like Hydra being like inside the S.H.I.E.L.D. system the whole time?
Wait, Ben Mendelsohn's supposed to be the director of S.H.I.E.L.D. in the 90s?
Well, when he shapeshifts into a human, he's
Yeah.
actually one of the directors of the S.H.I.E.L.D. in the 90s.
Oh, maybe is he just on the council, or is he the director of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
He was the counselor director. That's how they labeled it.
You know what? Do you think they're gonna bring back Alexander Pierce for this movie?
That makes me wonder. I haven't even said that. Me and Chloe had a discussion about that because I thought, wouldn't it be cool if we got a younger version? Yeah, exactly.
That'd be interesting.
Especially with the CGI and all that shit, how they can do it now. I was like, what if we see him pop up in the movie at some point? Because
cool.
we have, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., old dude. Died in the first
Agent
Avengers.
Coulson.
Coulson, there we go, Coulson. He's showing up in it too. So it's cool shit like that. But it actually said he was a director of S.H.I.E.L.D. So I'm just like, does that step on the toes of like, are we, in Winter Soldier, it was really cool to show that, Hydra's been there the whole time. Is this kind of stepping on the toes that you're messing with that?
I don't know.
Well, see, that's what, and that's kind of what, going back to the Avengers thing, and, I'm not, really hoping that this is a secret, they're putting Secret War into the Avengers movie. And I kind of hope that kind of just, kind of hits with this Captain Marvel movie. But that's one of the cool things about Secret Wars, right? You find out that, it's not just everybody's Hydra, you find out in Winter Soldier. You find out it's actually bigger than that. They, there's people that you've been interacting with for years. It's been Skrulls this whole time.
Yeah.
And and they just
that's
say
Secret Invasion.
Secret Invasion. That's what I meant.
I'm sitting here going Secret War.
My bad. I got Secret War stuck in my head, but Secret Invasion. Yeah. That's the whole thing, and it's. I don't know. I mean, you can still.
I'm just wondering how much you're right. The thing is this does danger on the idea of a prequel coming out and kind of stomping on stuff that we already assumed or knowledge that we already had and changing that. It looks like Nick Fury is not the Nick Fury we know. That is the Nick Fury I see in that trailer is not the Nick Fury I know from the Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
His eye fucked up.
He's like, you got to keep both eyes open. Like that. Dude's a hard ass. He's stone cold, man.
Yeah.
And then I see him play with this little. I see him play, but we're gonna probably say he loses his eye. But I want to know. Last time I trusted somebody, I lost an eye. So who's taking his eye? Is it that goddamn cat? For all I know.
Or could be this director of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
Who was a Skrull. So.
Which would be weird that would never come up again with him.
Well, that's why I point out if
never sit here and go, somebody could be a Skrull.
That's why I'm wondering, does this movie partially take place in the 90s and partially take place in I don't know, somewhat present day-ish?
Yeah. Kevin Feige just said this isn't your traditional origin film, so I wonder if it does jump back to present and all that stuff.
One thing I do want to say, there's a lot of people online throwing shade at Captain Marvel, okay, at this trailer, and to an extent, I get it. It wasn't the most exciting trailer. It wasn't the most rousing trailer to make me go, whoa, but
Black Panther, I was the same way with Black Panther.
Black Panther trailers didn't do a lot for me either. But the thing is, for some reason, people are like shitting on this trailer. It's shit. The movie's gonna be shit. It's gonna be shit. It's like you still got the same quarterback that you've had. Kevin Feige is producing this movie. This is a Kevin Feige film. Why are you now losing faith in this guy? Like, I've got faith in this movie's gonna be at least decent to good. You know, I'm not gonna shit on it and go, "Oh, that movie's gonna fucking suck." No, for all I know, it's as good as, you know, Cap 1, which is kind of where I think Black Panther falls. It's like right around that area, you know, or Doctor Strange,
which doesn't make it a bad movie. It just makes it one. This just makes it not one of your favorite Marvel movies,
or something that just would have been a little bit more at home in the Phase 1 type films, you know, that quality. But it's just like all these people are just jumping on this, like forgetting the fact that Kevin Feige has quarterbacked the past 21 movies or so and done a phenomenal fucking job.
Yeah, well, you know? It's like one of the things I liked about this trailer was going back to Avengers. You know, obviously this is before the Avengers trailer dropped, but it didn't give too much away. You still don't know what's going on with Jude Law's character. You still, you know,
in one brief shot.
Yeah, you just get glimpses of jumping all over the place. Like, how structured is, like, timeline-wise is this going to take place?
Right.
What's going on with Carol Danvers? You know, how does she get these powers? There's still question marks there, and I think it's interesting. I still feel like I'm kind of blind going into this movie of what they're going to do. Yeah. So, I mean, there's that positive there.
I feel like this one's going to have a big old twist. There's a big surprise in this movie.
There's something about it. There's going to be something that,
which is why the trailers might be lacking, because you just can't allude to it.
Yeah. And I agree, because I feel like granted, I said this about other movies. I said it about Black Panther before, you know, Infinity Wars. I kept saying, like, oh, something's going to lead into this Infinity Wars. It's going to play a big part. But in my head, I keep going, this Captain Marvel movie, mostly because the end credit scene for Infinity Wars, you know, nods at Captain Marvel. Like, this movie is going to give us something, a bigger chunk of, like, some kind of hint that goes towards the next Avengers movie.
Well, and that's the thing, too. This movie has to do something that is completely unprecedented. Like, so it has to fulfill this kind of wish and goal, right? It's coming off the heels of Avengers Infinity War, right? We're going to scrub Ant-Man and the Wasp. We all knew it really wasn't going to do a whole lot to further that plot. But Captain Marvel, it does. It has to kind of pick up the torch in the sense that it has to satisfy people who are waiting for the next Avengers movie, right? Like, it's got to kind of satiate them and make them go, okay, cool, now I'm ready for Avengers. Like, this was a good meal. But it also has to lead into that Avengers movie. This can't really be its own standalone thing. So no matter what with this movie, as far as critics go, I think it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't. If you do not kind of pick up off of that, lead into some stuff, start weaving the threads for the next Avengers movie, then people are going to be pissed. Like, they want that because Captain Marvel needs to be in the next Avengers movie. Yeah. So it's like these little seeds, these are planting this movie. It has to tie into that. So critics will be like, oh, it's not a standalone movie. You know, you can't really watch this movie and understand it fully if you didn't see the last Avengers movie. But as a fan, that's what you want. So it's like a damned if you do, damned if you don't. Don't see, because of that, I don't see this movie doing super well with critics. Like, because it can't do what Wonder Woman did. Wonder Woman got to be its own little period piece. This one gets to be a period piece, but it has to establish quite a few things in order to understand what's probably going to be happening in Endgame.
See, and I kind of agree with you. I kind of agree with you on this. I think that there has to be. I don't think it has to connect a bunch of stuff to.
No, but it has to devote some time.
But it has to. Well, I don't think it has to.
I think it does.
I feel like, if anything, what this movie's purpose should mostly be is there, because you got to think about this as movie viewers, not as us. All you get is that little logo on that pager. They need to provide you a film that would make you excited to see Captain Marvel, and where you go, okay, now I understand why I should be pumped.
But how much are fans going to be pissed if this movie just has nothing to do with Infinity War?
I mean,
I think it's going to really piss fans off. And that's a unique position to have. That's a unique problem to have.
Oh, yeah.
To be so successful in a franchise that's almost serialized, where it's like people are pissed off that this movie doesn't lead into your next one.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Yeah, the movie blew. But
I know, that's what I'm saying, but people love that movie still.
I don't care, but the thing...
But what I'm saying is,
Guardians 2 is not in the same position that this movie is. There's a lot riding on this movie. Whether it's deserved or not, whether you think it is, audiences are expecting this movie. A lot of people are expecting this movie to kind of bridge the gap between the Avengers movies.
Okay, but all I'm saying is I don't think it needs a big bridge. It just needs to have something.
No, you're
Well,
right.
I think it needs something that it needs to stand out because we
gotta balance
expressed this in the last podcast. Is like you have your a safe play on your origin films. It just like you're playing it safe. I don't know, like for example, in Black Panther, you had the other opposite of Black Panther. You had a bad Black Panther going against it. Like I think, and then we talked about Captain America: The First Avenger. It's a safe origin, good film.
Right, it's
safe.
The villain mirrors the hero.
I think you need to risk something fresh and new, and I think.
I
Marvel
definitely
needs
think
to do
that's the case, and I think that they do. But the way the way that it comes off to me that you're saying is like this movie needs to be more about bridging.
No, it
an
doesn't
Avengers
need
movie.
No, but here's the thing: if it completely sidesteps doing any of that, fans are going to be pissed. Critics will love it's a standalone film. Fans are going to be pissed because you Marvel decided we're going to put a Captain Marvel film in between two Avengers films that come out 1 year apart from each other. This needs to do something. It needs to fulfill some kind of question goal. It needs to set something up, and that's the thing. And critics are gonna crucify this movie for that because it's like, oh, this movie, while it had its own story, it also had all these things to set up other movies, and so you couldn't watch this movie and understand everything if you didn't see all the other Marvel films, which is we're past that. Like if you're not on board with the Marvel train by now, you're never gonna get the fuck on.
Yeah.
But you can't. The way Marvel chose to position Captain Marvel between these two Avengers films, and we know Captain Marvel is going to be in the fourth one. You have to set it up. You can't not do that. And again, it's a unique problem to have, but they put themselves in that position. You have to do it. You've got to put something in this. It's got to tell its own story, absolutely, but it also has to. Small things in the background, whatever, have to kind of jump from one movie to the next.
Yep.
And it's a weird position to be in.
Yeah, but ending on that note, we know they've teased it. It's not been confirmed, nothing like that. It'll probably maybe be posted by the time we end this podcast. But the Spider-Man Far From Home trailer has been rumored. Like, what do you quickly? what would you want to expect from a Spider-Man Far From Home?
Nothing.
Definitely
I don't want a trailer for it. I don't want a trailer for it. You didn't see him in the Infinity War trailer. Why are you going to drop this?
Yeah,
this movie is 7 months away.
Yeah,
I totally agree that we don't need the trailer. Just like I said, I didn't think we need the Avengers this week, but a lot of stuff's aligned that we're actually going to get it on Saturday, which could possibly be when I post this video. So, what do you expect from a Spider-Man Far From Home trailer?
I don't know,
Josh.
You're asking me what do I expect from something I don't want?
I don't know, because my biggest problem with it is, like, granted, I mean, I would like to see the trailer at some point, but my biggest problem is that you just dropped the Avengers Endgame trailer, and what all this trailer will potentially do is take away from that, because then all you're going to do is start assuming that this is going to take place after Endgame, because it's going to happen after Endgame. So you're not going to assume that this is going to be like Captain Marvel, which is supposed to be like some kind of prequel or something. You're going to know that this is supposed to be following up afterwards, and you're going to start assuming, and it's going to take away from the motion and the feelings that you just got from the Avengers trailer.
Yeah, I totally agree with both of you that we don't need a trailer, but
here's what I think you do. I think you show Aunt May devastated. She doesn't know where Peter is. She hasn't heard from him. She hasn't seen him in whoever knows how long.
Okay,
right?
So he's probably starting to take what I think they should do.
And then you show this guy, Quentin Beck, just kind of wreaking havoc, a.k.a. Mysterio. He's just wreaking havoc on the city. He's taking advantage of the fact that there's so few people. He's looting. He's doing whatever. He's doing his little mystical shit. And it's a quick 30-second teaser, and there's no one to stop him.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Tease Mysterio. That's what you do. You tease
exactly.
Mysterio.
That's what I was going to say. You just do a minute teaser. You show a New York without Spider-Man.
If you're going to do one, that's how you're going to do it. That's how you need to do it.
That's
but
what I think
still,
you should
it comes
do.
to
don't even call it Spider-Man in the trailer, too. Call it Far From Home.
Yeah, but the thing about it is, it's Sony. I've told you so many times how much I really don't fucking like that lady over there. What's her name?
Amy Pascal.
Yeah.
But it's also Sony with Marvel. So
I know, but
I guarantee Marvel's advertising marketing company is
I hope,
and not Sony's.
Because I hope she's just not doing something that's just going to Kevin Feige is like, what the fuck are you doing? I just did all this shit.
See, here's the thing. The Avengers trailer is so high profile. Everybody's seen it. In 12 hours, it got, 31 million views?
Yeah.
And that's just one video. There are multiple videos in this thing posted. You add all those together, who knows how many views it's had. But it's so high profile. If you come out and put a Spider-Man one, the general audience that don't know another Spider-Man film's coming out, they see this, they're going to be like, whoa, I thought he got dusted. I thought he got lost in the snap. Why are they making... Well, now I already feel like I know how Endgame ends.
Yeah.
That's my problem. That's my worry.
I totally agree. I'm like, all right, so
I really hope it's a rumor. I hope it doesn't come out. I hope they don't release it.
yeah,
There's
I'm
no
sure
reason to. It comes out what, June or July?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Why
what I mean.
would you release
You
it?
waited this way like long.
I mean, Captain Marvel got her second trailer 3 months out.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
But that's the reason why I had a problem with the Avengers dropping too. I'm just like, why would you do it the same week, like marketing wise?
why in the same week?
That's why it has me so scared that Sony would be pulling the trigger on dropping this trailer, and it really fucking scares me. But anyways, we'll see what happens, obviously. Yep. But yeah, guys, that's all we have for the podcast. I keep calling it a podcast.
It's
segment,
not a podcast,
weekly web. There we go.
It's an episode.
Yeah, there we go. But yeah, obviously you can see a chunk of it.
Webisode.
A chunk of it is for the
adorable.
Avengers. But before I close this thing out, I actually will not be on the Weekly Web Up for a while because I will
love
be.
it that we get him here to start doing
I know.
this. And he's like, oh, I'm going to
I've got a kid coming.
I've got a kid coming. I'm not going to be able to do this.
Oh, thanks for ruining it. I will be
You've already
welcoming.
announced it on
I
other
know, we
episodes.
mentioned it
I will be
multiple times.
welcoming my daughter into this world this week, and yeah, so I won't be on here for a while because obviously I'll be taking care of my little Adam Eve. So,
Adam and Eve?
Adam and Eve.
Twins, Basil, twins.
But Jake and Josh for sure will be hosting the Weekly Web Up. You know, it's in good hands, obviously.
Show your hands so they can see our
Bam.
hands.
These are quality hands.
Yes. I'm not quite sure what to do with them
These
a lot of
are
times.
these are tender, caring, loving hands.
But like always, guys,
Can be assertive.
thanks for joining for the
sometimes,
Weekly
too.
Web Up.
Hit that thumbs up button if you like this video. Comment below. Let us know what your thoughts and theories are on the Avengers and Captain Marvel trailer. Let us know if you think we're right, if we're wrong. Wish me a happy birthday. Fucking do it.
In the comments below.
And of course, guys, subscribe to the channel. We just hit 822 subscribers. I didn't even know numbers existed that high. So
I didn't know nobody's gonna, this is going to be his ongoing thing.
Yeah.
I think that's the reason why we get more subscribers.
They're like, prove him
he's
wrong.
like, prove him wrong. Challenge accepted. There's definitely, you can go higher than 800.
anyways, guys, we really appreciate you listening this far. I'm just kind of practicing my hosting duties since dipshit here is not going to do it anymore. So let us know what you guys think about the trailer so far. What were your thoughts on it? Let us know, and we will see you guys on the next episode of the Weekly Web Up. Or if you guys listen to comic reviews, we will see you guys Tuesday. Take care.
We out.